We move on. We move ahead through what'll be a very interesting off-season, but before that, we got to find out if Ohio State is going to be taking home another national championship. They have plenty. Selfish, but they're going to try to win another one. Again, our first year without even a bowl appearance. That is sad, but the season's over. It's in the rear view. We move on. Hopefully. Hopefully. As your national champions this year, surprise, surprise, the Ohio State Buckeyes have won another one, 28-24 over Florida State. Wow. Another championship season for Ohio State. Somehow USC got robbed of another appearance, by the way. I mean, they were 11-1 and didn't make it, so interesting enough. But we're off to the off season. Just such a rough year. Security is listed as low. Our prestige in 2 seasons has dropped from an A+ to a B-. That's harsh. That is harsh. 203 and 91 all-time record. That is harsh. Coaching carousel. USC's Luke Fickell has retired. Oklahoma's Grant Chestnut has also retired. So obviously we're getting to the point now where it's just a lot of generated dudes, so I'm not too worried about coaching at this stage. Although we haven't checked on, what was it, Jim? I haven't checked on Jim in a long time. But we'll see what his career looks like by the end of it. In terms of coaching changes. Oh my god, you didn't change our staff at all. At all? No changes. No changes to the coaching staff at all. Well, that's a bit of bad news number 1. We lose How We Do the Thing to graduation. Nicole Bach. 2 solid years for Nicole. Fullbacks Handle with Care and Surfer Sting both graduate. At tight end, Wild Bull Buchanan, Merle's Hook Hand, and Mesh Chaps have all graduated. That's tough. On the O-line, Scruffy Scruffington is gone, as is Freddie McDonough. Right guard's Fat Guy Little Coat and retired for VP. On the defensive side of things, defensive end Swift Kick in the Nads. Defensive tackle Iranian Helicopter. Linebackers Henry Rowengartner. At corner, Frau Blucher and Get Along Lil Toogie. Safeties Emu Riding Cowboy and Fred Warner. Our kicker, the Knights who say get the fuck out. And our punter Shaquille O'Neal. Same story every year. We lose a hell of a lot of talent. We might have a transfer request because we still have 1 scholarship left. Nope. See if we can lock down that tight end with our final scholarship. What a bad year, man. If it continues this next year, it certainly might have to be our last. I mean, you could argue now's the time to leave. We're going to go all in on Larry Smith for that final scholarship, the 72 overall tight end out of Shirts, Texas. I prefer Pants, Oklahoma. See if we get that final recruit to fill a position of need. We'll still need a fullback, but who gives a shit? We can just make it a running back, and at least they'll be fast. I won't be able to block worth a damn, but, you know, what are you going to do? And Larry Smith has indeed joined up. Welcome in, Larry. We always wanted you. So position changes. This will be fun. This will be fun. So we do have a couple of athletes. Obviously, punter, kicker. We're gonna have 3 dudes here. I just need to see who's looking good. Pretty straightforward. I mean, Jason Bennett's never gonna play. We'll go with Rodney Robinson at punter. The other guy has slightly better accuracy. Yeah, Jason Bennett's going to be an obvious cut. So, first and foremost, who can play quarterback? You can play quarterback. That's where you're going for the moment. So we can see what all of our potential options are. And then take it from there. Right? Right. Even if it's a wide receiver, which would probably be the last spot. There might technically be like a corner that could play, but likely. And actually, let me just check throw power. Yeah, none of these guys can play. Is there anybody in the secondary that could play quarterback? Not looking like it. All right, so those are our quarterback options. Running backs, these three are perfectly fine there. Especially because we're not going to have anybody that can play in the secondary. No. Fullback, Haas is fine where he is. Javon Brown, you got to go running back, dude. You can't run. Same for Marshall Elbert. And then let's move all of you over. I don't know how many fullbacks we need. Hopefully it's not many. Wideouts with the speed. Can any of you play defense? Not really. 60 tackle for numb legs. He's not going anywhere. 62 for Frank. All right. The O-line. Obviously, we still got to sort out other positions, but you'll see the method to my madness here shortly. I'm starting to think maybe we should just put people in their highest rated position, regardless of what that is, and hope that results in better success. But then again, why bother? You know, I think the missing piece last year was Cranjus McBasketball, this red shirt. It would make sense. Let's see. Defensive end. Defensive line. Harrell's not going to improve in speed. Luka Magic might. So we could technically move Luka Magic to defensive end. Linebackers. Saddle sore. We're going to move you back to defensive end. Tyson's not going to improve in speed. He's fast as fuck for a linebacker. He'll be a good future safety if we need him. Westicle's speed could go up. Purdy Face's speed could go up. Everyone else is good there. Man, to be honest, Eddie Tyson might be best suited at safety with that amount of speed. And in the secondary, everyone with at least an 85. Okay. So, the athletes. We have Chris Washington. Fullback, tight end, offensive line, defensive line. If we look at the defensive line, kind of. Offensive line was a no. Tight end, fullback is likely. And then Maurice Woodard, running back, wide receiver, or member of the secondary. Given the amount of potential running backs, I think we're fine. The amount of wideouts, I think we're fine. Let's put Maurice Woodard in the secondary. And then, yeah, Washington, I think, has got to be considered for fullback or tight end, just based off of need. So, these are the potential QBs. Trying to see what that looks like in a minute. Let's do running backs first. So obviously Haas, potential fullback. Smith, potential fullback or tight end. Washington, same thing. Outstanding in his field, same thing. +2 at tight end. -3. -5. +2. Is there one more person who it makes sense to go tight end? Javon Brown's not going to be good there. Are any of these guys going to be good at fullback? Probably not. I just got to hope that one fullback is fine. I don't think any of the offensive linemen are going to be particularly good at catching the ball. 59 is about the best. Technically a 62 for Disco Inferno. But he's only a 59 at tight end. Okay. So we will move. And I think I only need one fullback. I think. Got the best catch rating between the two of you. It's about even. Better carrying, though, for lap 1 Haas. Move you to fullback. Okay, so we do need 2 fullbacks on roster. I gotta find somebody to move. It's gonna be Disco Inferno. Put him at fullback. And then move Haas over to tight end. So we technically have a former offensive lineman at fullback, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I think Angel will go up by 3 in terms of speed. The wideout situation. We got our 3 tight ends. We still got to solve the O-line. So a quarterback. Grimes is obviously the guy. Washington cannot play anywhere else. Dirt McGirt, we know, can play running back or wide receiver. Based on his speed, it's going to be running back, or he could be the backup this year. Hamilton can kind of play in the secondary, but he's too slow to do that. So leave him at quarterback. Jason Landry can't play anywhere else. And then MJF Dick Kick. So these, honestly, I think we're good because these 3 in the white are going to get red shirt. But I think we have McGirt be the backup, so it's not MJF Dick Kick. So we're going to carry that many quarterbacks, try and shore up the future. Which means running back's going to be a little bit weak, but that's okay. We got our fullbacks, got our wideouts. Let's solve the offensive line here. Let's see, Kerr. We got a lot of good offensive linemen is the problem. So let's just put people in whatever their highest rated position is, which is pretty much always going to be center. I'm just going to end up moving everybody to center. Fuck. Yep. Well, I've already started this process. Let's see if there's anybody who breaks the trend of center not being their highest rated position. Yeah, that's not going to happen. We're literally just moving everybody from left tackle to center. Well, that's just lovely, isn't it? Every single one of you. Straight to center. Okay, well, that doesn't help. Those were testing, though. So obviously you could go with Kerr as the highest rated. Let's see, he gets 2 worse at guard. -3 for Crangus. Chicken's a -3. Cody's a -3. Horse is only a -1. How do I want to do this? Again, Kerr was only a -2. It makes sense to move him out. And he was a -3. He was a -3. Cody was a -3. Horse is only a 1. Quinoa's a 2. Van Dam's a 1. Emu is a 2. Steo is a 3, so we'll leave him there for the moment. Cooper is a 1. Bradshaw is a 4. Cooper's a 3. Leave him there. -1 for you. For here is only a 2. Achilles tear is only a 2. And the slappening was a 3. I think all of them were only a +1 or a +2. I gotta double check. I feel like I messed up with one dude. But, alright. So, that is who would be best center. So again, that's a -3. Another 3. Another 3. Steo's a 3. Bradshaw stays no matter what. Everybody else is a 3, but Bradshaw's a 4. So, I mean, it would make sense to move the 2 highest dudes out. Let Crangus play center. with we'll move Castillo out. Move Bradshaw stays. We'll move the Slapping out. Those will be our three there. Now, who the hell is going to play guard? Who the hell is going to play tackle? Kerr is a -1. Chicken actually gets +2 better, so we'll move him over. -2, +1. And Dam is a -1. Cody's better on the edge. Emu's the same. Cooper's a -1. Castillo's better. Morning. Over here's better on the outside. Achilles tear is the same. And the Slapping is worse. Okay, cool. So let's go with you guys at right guard. And then we'll put you two at tackle. Actually, it'll be... Yeah, there we go. All right, offensive line is set. Have quite a bit of depth there. Defensive line. Move Steve over. Pretty straightforward there for the D-line. Defensive tackles set. A lot of talent at DT. And then linebackers, we should have enough dudes to make this work, I hope. Otherwise, we'll have to move some people back from potential safety positions. Yeah, okay. So, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it should be okay. 3, 3, and 3. I think that's the limit. So Westicles is a -3. Ditka is only a -1. Move Westicles over. Drop an S actually gets better on the outside. Farouk stays the same. Butler's better on the outside. Gaslighter gets a little bit worse. Pimpin' Ain't Easy's better on the outside. Face is 1 point worse. And Pasture's 1 point better. So, that is pretty evenly divided. And then just to double check, corners and safeties. And then we are good to go. Right, because I already had, yeah, we already had the athletes done. Cool. So Omaha stays the same. Truffle's 2 better. Alou is 3 better. Oh boy. Stewart's 1 better. Dickus is 5 points better, so he goes. Woodard's only 2 better. Long time moves over. Myrick moves over. Easily moves over. Stunt double moves over. Scott moves over. Tyson. And Cal. Okay, so that leaves us with 5 corners. Somebody else has to move back with high speed. So one of these 4. Dickus drops by 5. Stunt double drops by a shit ton. Myrick by a shit ton. Easily by a shit ton. Honestly, it might have to be fucking Dickus, but then again, he's going to be the best one. Let's go for Chuck Norris stunt double. He'll have more time to develop. So then, for the outright safeties, -1 for Dickus. -1. -1. Pretty consistent. -1. +1 for Tyson. Cowgirl's a +2. Scott stays the same. And we'll move Ben a long time over. Okay, I think we're set. As per usual, we're going to need a lot of help in regards to training camp results. But I don't believe I forgot anything. We are good to go. Right. Okay. Since you said your wife's a music teacher, does she teach music or is she a generalized teacher? Just teaches music, yeah. Runs her music program. 96 overall for the senior Space Cowboy. Dirt McGurt's an 83 behind him. Got a lot of speed at quarterback this year, so that's good. 82 running back for necessary roughness. I'm not too worried about having a dominant running back. Disco's up to a 68 as a fullback. Not bad, given you were an O-lineman. Wideouts, can I pass to Frank? Couple 84s. That's okay. It's not the best, but that's okay. Solid tight end, outstanding in his field. Ready to go for his junior year. O-line, looking good. Looking good. Fox, what's up, by the way? I'm not sure how much more FC we'll play. We should still play, but also Sin's leaving for he's leaving for Finland. Ooh, couple of 91s. Cran just looking like a beast. Our offensive line looks great. Then again, I told Sim with the servers he should still be able to play while I was over there. You play without a problem, and you're in goddamn Norway. So, Karen Rogers up to a 94. You know, this team doesn't look half bad. Overall wise, this team doesn't look that bad. Rookie kicker, rookie punter aside, we got a couple of 90s again, a lot of high 80s. How many players do we have to cut? We know we have a kicker as a gimme. 6. That's Jason Bennett. You are gone. I'd prefer to not get rid of a quarterback. If we do have to get rid of one, it's Jason Landry because of his lack of speed. And to be honest, he's never going to play over Marcus Hamilton, who's younger and better. So Jason Landry, hate to tell you, buddy, but we'll see you later. Meg does a good chance, yeah. Couple of 72s. It brought on a walk-on fullback. Get rid of him. Bring on any other walk-ons. We got a lot of senior wideouts this year. Could be the offensive line where some of the cuts come from. D-line doesn't have the depth. Linebacker doesn't have the depth. Secondary kinda sorta has the depth, but not really. Just make sure there were no other walk-ons. Okay. 3 more dudes have to go. I really do want to keep Washington. Oh man, I mean these bottom 3 quarterbacks are solid. If we got rid of McGirt, we'd have to play Dick Kick as the backup. Running back wise, honestly, good riddance, Angel Hernandez. Already been a redshirt junior, only a 76. It would mean we have to play a shitload of wide receivers at running back, but that's okay. Good riddance, Angel Hernandez. You're out of here. At wide out, I can't cut Billy Walton though. Can't cut Billy Walton. God, he makes the most sense to get rid of. It'd have to be Chad Walter that goes then. So on the O-line, we can get rid of Troy in a bed. Only an 80. One more person to get rid of. Honestly, Sheldon's dad, George Cooper. We can get rid of you too. There we go. We're down to 70. Down to 70. So let's update ye old conferences and find out who the hell we're going to be competing against next season back down in Div 2. Not George. George is dead, and so is Sheldon. You know, the coaching skill trees. Again, we still have horrific coordinators. Absolutely horrific. There's really nothing to change here. Shout out to Johnny for the follow, by the way. It makes sense to keep the stamina and the injury resistance. God, oh my God, it's terrible. Couple times a season, the Saban factor works out, but if I reset that skill tree and this one, what would this one look like more maxed out? Peter doesn't make false starts, no scrambled play art, and Coach Cam. Kicker can't get iced. Increase the yardage for setup plays. Blocking matchups appear. In-depth patching matchups appear. Computers basically don't cause penalties. Your team starts hot. In rivalry bowl or championship games. Call a timeout when losing by 14 or more to bump all players to very hot. 25% chance to correctly identify your opponent's next play. That's a pretty sick ability. And then you stay very hot inside the final 2 minutes and overtime if the score difference is 7 or less. I mean, obviously we can't do all of that, but it's just like, is it worth speccing into a ton? Not really. I might as well just keep the Saban factor in effect. And, what I can from there. Again, I don't need to worry about locked recruits. We never have to deal with that. Everything else, though, we are going to want. But to be honest, the pipeline does help the recruitment. We might as well have it. So yeah, we'll keep the Saban factor. No scrambled play art in Coach Cam, honestly, probably works better for me than not getting iced. So we'll switch it over to that for this year. So let's get a look at the new conferences. We'll start at the very bottom. Tier 11 in the Sun Belt. Western Kentucky promoted as champions. They will be replacing Washington State, while Georgia Southern have been relegated for Northwestern. So again, that is your brand new bottom tier, tier number 11, the Sun Belt Conference. Indiana's still down there. There's some teams that I'm still surprised have been down there all this time. In the SEC, whoops, I just realized I almost fucked up. Yeah, I almost fucked up. That would have been rough. So Western Kentucky, Northwestern. We're up. That was correct. And Georgia Southern, Washington State. We're down. That was correct. All right, we're good. I made a text mistake as opposed to an in-game mistake. Texas State have been promoted in favor of Coastal Carolina, and Vanderbilt have been relegated for Southern Miss. So that is the brand new 10th tier, the SEC. Still featuring the likes of Buffalo, Kentucky, Western Kentucky down there. Not a good time for the state of Kentucky. But hey, on the bright side, by this point in time, Mitch McConnell's probably dead. So you got that going for you. In the Pac-12, Purdue have been promoted as champions. They will be replacing Ohio, while the Green Wave of Tulane, God love them, have been relegated for Boise State. So the brand new Pac-12. The brand new Pac-12. Not bad. Or Tulane, though. They just haven't been able to break through. The Mountain West, Boston College promoted as champions. Guys being dudes. Replacing BYU. Houston have been relegated for Northern Illinois. Says the new 8th tier. The Mountain West. Mountain West. Or BYU. Again, I mention it every time we see them, but we had a fucking rivalry with them for a short time, and they just haven't been able to make up any ground. Promoted as champions in the MAC, Arizona State will be replacing James Madison. And the Duke Blue Devils will be replaced by Wake Forest. Some Carolina intrigue there. As we finalize our little sheet here. Poor James Madison. They didn't stay up there too long. They really didn't. Conference USA, Tier 6, Colorado promoted as champions. They will be replacing Oklahoma State, while Ole Miss have been relegated for South Carolina as the new Tier 6 Conference USA. A little bit all over the place with the teams that are in that particular conference at this particular time. Let's see. Bada bing and bada boom. Tier number 5, the Big Ten, Hawaii, promoted as champions. They will be replacing Clemson down to Tier 5. And the Arizona Wildcats, 1 year after winning a national title, have been relegated for Pittsburgh. So that is the brand new Big Ten. Shocking to see some of the teams down in Tier 5. Florida State, Clemson, I mean, There are some names that should not be that low, but they have struggled in this timeline. We go up to Tier 4 with the Big 12. Promoted as champions, the Louisville Cardinal, replacing Virginia Tech. While the U, Miami, down to Tier 4 to replace Wisconsin. So how do you like that? Tier 4, Bama, Miami, Washington. All three, if I'm not mistaken, have been Superior 6 program at one point. The U is the one that I'm uncertain about. I know that the other two have been. Doing a Vandy franchise sounds so tempting. I want to see how long it would take in a terrifying division. Well, wait for the new game. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Gotta wait for the new one. Be here before you know. In the American, Navy promoted as champions. They will be replacing UCLA, while Arkansas have been relegated for Utah. So that is the new Tier 3 American Conference. Good on Air Force. They're still hanging in there. I give them credit. Yeah, UCLA dropped. Arkansas dropped. Of course, the Texas Longhorns are still down there, though. Tier 2, it's time to get painful, everybody. Promoted as champions, Missouri, who will be replacing your Wyoming Cowboys. And Penn State have been relegated for Notre Dame. So it is official. We will be in a division with Minnesota, Navy, Oklahoma, UCF, and West Virginia. How crazy is that we have ended up in the same spot as Navy after all of these years? Can't say I'm particularly happy about it, but it is our reality. And of course, that means independent status, the Superior 6, Michigan, Mizzou, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and USC. I mean, yeah, most of those teams have been in that mix pretty damn consistently. I can't really say I'm surprised. So obviously we'll have a lot of recruitment to do and all the fun stuff. We'll have some renaming to do that we will get to likely tomorrow, but I do want to figure out just what the hell this schedule is going to look like. Georgia is mandatory. It's going to have to be week 6 then that's open. We'll have to play a lot of games down the stretch. Shitload of games down the stretch. Actually here, so let's get a game week 1. Never mind. Why can't I open up that Nebraska game? If I could open up them. A game week 1. 4, 5, week off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, week off. I open up Nebraska now. I can't take Nebraska off the schedule, even though they're not mandatory. That fucking sucks. Whatever. We'll have a bit of an odd one. I don't really think I want a shitload of games to start the year. Well, it's almost a shitload of games. Okay. Well, we know how this works then. We do have mandatory games. But let's spin ye old wheel to find out who we're going to be playing in week 1. And the answer starts... There must just be something I'm overlooking, but it starts with a J. Who's available as a J in week 1? Nobody. You know what? Let's just leave week 1 open then. Is there a J available week 6? No. Is there a J available week 12? No. Well, I tried. I only want 2 weeks off. I guess we'll just do a week 6 game instead of a week 1, but then that ends up being just a shitload of games. I don't know why I can't take Nebraska off the schedule. That's what's fucking it all up. All right, well, let's respin then. Week 1 is very limited. But you know what? We're committed. And we'll see what happens. We could end up being here for a very long time. But damn it, I'm committed. It's just James Madison for J. No, Georgia. Clearly. W. Nobody for a W. Jesus Christ. And there's only one letter we'd have to vote on, and that's U for either Monroe or Utah State. P. Nobody. I don't even care. I'm sticking with it. It's so stupid, but I'm sticking with it. D. For nobody. For Georgia. Arizona State. Oh my god. Okay. I don't care. I'm sticking with it. This is our process. I'm sticking with it. Are there faults to the process? Yes, but I don't even care. Son of bitch. I'm going to start removing letters. Let's just start removing letters and then I'll reload the site. It'll be fine. Do a random number between 1 and 6. No, I ain't no bitch. You think I'm scared? I got nowhere else to be except in my kitchen doing the dishes, baby. Yay! Colorado State. It has been decided. We will take on... It's the same result. You're the same result. Colorado State. We actually get the very rare rivalry game. Week number 3. Who's it going to be in week 3? A lot more options here. It's a C again. So chat will get to vote between Central Michigan or Charlotte. Will it be Cent Mich or Charlotte? That is your vote, chat, for week number 3. And then the final one will be week 14. And we'll technically consider Nebraska a part of this if it lands on N. Who's it going to be? S. Yep, just went to S. All right, chat will have a vote there too. So for the previous one, Charlotte's going to win. It only goes for as long as I need it to go. So Charlotte gets the win. And then here, it'll either be South Carolina with the Gamecocks or Stanford. Will it be South Carolina or Stanford? That'll be the question for week 14. So, the schedule is as follows. Colorado State, Georgia Bulldogs, Charlotte 49ers. We got Tennessee, who kicked the shit out of us the last 2 times we played them. Our old friends in Utah, the Utes. We got UCF, LSU, Navy, West Virginia, Boomer Sooner, Minnesota, the team that we beat in overtime to get promoted up to Tier 1 in the first place. And it looks like Stanford is going to get the win. It's close. But we'll take on the old Stanford Cardinal in that final game of the season. An A+ strength of schedule. If we get relegated 2 years in a row, I'll probably stop and say at least we hit the top tier. Just don't get relegated. Just don't get relegated, man.